Quick video on how to graft plumerias. Firstly, you'll need some pruning shears, rubbing alcohol to keep everything clean, because you're going to want to wipe down everything in between cuts, some paper towels, a knife to do your diagonal cuts, some zip ties, a cutting surface if you have a tree like this, where you can't quite get some pressure onto the branches when you're cutting, and of course, a plumeria cutting that you want to graft onto your other plant. I have an Anaheim pink right here. It's a gorgeous variety. Shout out to Upland Nursery. And also shout out to David Konishi in Cypress, California. He has a lot of good stuff. Go check him out. So first things first, you want to find a branch that is as close in thickness as you can possibly get. So this branch right here, can't quite see it on the camera, but they are near identical. So step one, grab your paper towel, identify where you want to cut, a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and clean off the area. I also like to spray the surface that I'm cutting on. So this little piece of 2x4 that I just have laying around, I just do a quick spray and wipe down. And I also spray and wipe down the knife that I'm going to use. It's a little crusty looking. I did some grafting yesterday. As long as it's disinfected, it'll be fine. You don't have to make them sparkly clean. Then find the spot you want to graft. If you're doing kind of a horizontal cut or a horizontal branch like this, I like to cut this way. That way this becomes the bottom shelf of the graft, because all the grafts that I do are diagonal. I just do a slant graft. I've had some success like down here with V grafting. It's kind of hit or miss for me. I'm not very good at it. I prefer slant grafting. So find the angle, or rather find the branch, cut at a nice angle. Give yourself some space to work with, right? So nice long cut. I'm going to move this cutting off to the side. We're going to use that cutting as a guide for our cutting. I'm going to wipe down my cutting and the knife. So I'm just going to quick rubbing alcohol, wipe down the knife, wipe down the surface, and also clean our scion, the cutting that we want to graft. And then let me see if I can angle this camera down without dropping my phone. I'll just show you up here. I just like to lay it directly over where it matches, and then I'll just use it as a guide. So I'll just lay them flat like this on the cutting board, and then just cut straight down. So I'll show you what that looks like after I cut it, because I don't know how to maneuver this little tripod. So I just do a straight down cut. That looks pretty even. You can put them together to check. So as you can see, it's not quite 100% there. This is a little short. So I'll just move that bottom piece away. I don't have to wipe it again because I'm just cutting the same cutting. We'll get them lined up again. I just line up the bottom corners together and then try to get the top. Cut straight down. That looks much better. And that's a pretty good match. I might cut that one more time. There we go. So when we put them together, it's a near perfect match. That means we're good to go. Then you want to grab 2 or 3 zip ties, nothing too crazy. We're just going to zip tie one on the scion. Don't tighten these down right away. Leave a little bit of space in them so that we can kind of adjust our cutting as we need to. And then, so this is the cut that I did. As you can see, it's flat. I'm going to put 1 zip tie here just so I can keep everything in the same spot. We'll match the 2 halves together. This is quite a big cutting. I probably should have cut this a little bit higher up to make it less heavy in the front, but it's nothing another zip tie won't fix. So once I've got it lined up, just a little bit of pressure with my hands to hold it still. I move this zip tie up like so, and now I can hold it down a little bit better. So I have these two zip ties here. It's holding pretty well. I see it coming up a little bit, so I want to add at least one more zip tie. I'll add one to the very back right here. And if these things fall over, it's no big deal. I've had so many grafts take forever. I'll show you one, hopefully, if I remember. That took me about 20 minutes to get it properly lined up, just because it was such a hassle. Put this zip tie right here. The reason you don't want to tie them down all the way at first is because sometimes they'll slide a little bit as you're tying them. And you want to give yourself some room, some wiggle room to get them realigned and readjusted. It doesn't have to be 100% perfectly aligned. I've gotten away with about half an inch of just empty space. Not between the cuttings, but rather in this spot right here where the cuttings are kind of overlapping. It's okay. Plumeria is not super picky with their grafting. All right, I have all the zip ties that I want on here. It stayed pretty well aligned. I checked all the sides. So now I'm going to really tighten it down. And then, using these guys, I'll just cut off the ends of the zips. And then we're going to get some grafting tape and wrap this baby up nice, maybe 5 or 6 times around. So I got my grafting tape. Just the cheap stuff. I got this on AliExpress. It was like a 10-pack for $4 or something. Start a little bit lower than where you cut. Sorry, I choked on the way here. And then you're just going to go around and around. Make sure it's nice and tight. Don't do that. Don't be a butterfinger like me. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this off. Just because this stuff is cheap and a pain in the ass when it gets unfurled like that. And I'm just going to keep going where I left off. I'm just going to keep going around, applying pressure with my fingers, try to keep the graft nice and together. Probably can't apply more pressure than the zip ties, but it makes me feel like I'm doing a little bit more than I actually am. Plumeria grafts typically take about 2-3 weeks to take. If after 2-3 weeks it hasn't taken, just do it again. It's probably not going to take after that point. So just save yourself the effort, save yourself the risk of the cutting rotting out on the tree. All right. Cut a little piece as an end, fold it up the other way. There you have it, nice and attached. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, I missed a spot. See, that's why we always double check our work. So I'll fix that after I finish recording. I'll show you another graft that is fully healed. This is a slant graft that I did. It's a kissy berry. It's a beautiful variety. This one was a pain in the ass because I did it too close to where the branches come out. So I had to zip tie this way, and the other way, and then I zip tied it to this. This is a whip and tongue graft. These don't work very well for me. This one did work. It's just a slant graft that you cut down the middle, and then you kind of stick them together. It looks more stable, but because this gets so thin right here, it's not quite as reliable. This part can easily dry out. I think it did on the other side. Not sure how well you can see that, but that bottom piece right where that zip tie is all dried out. So go make yourself some cocktail trees, get crazy, put some different varieties on one tree. This is a celandine, very receptive to grafting. Yellows and whites are typically the easiest rootstocks. Go have fun, experiment. and be safe.